week already. Okay. So I push 1 to provide my consent for the meeting being recorded. Okay. And so last week we were in Cancun and we had a blast. It was just a week ago. The weather was gorgeous. The pool was like bath water. It was so warm. And then on Saturday, early Saturday, it started to rain. And I thought they were going to cancel the pool party that the company had put on. And they were like, no, because the rain is warm. So, no, they don't cancel the party. He said the only time they would cancel the party is if it was lightning and thundering, of course, then they would cancel it. But before you know it, the sun came out and we were having so much fun. Nobody even realized that the sun was not out, but the sun did come out and everybody continued to have a great time. They moved the dinner inside just in case. So we were going to have the dinner right by the pool, but because of the weather, they moved it inside. And this hotel was so nice. Sharita did a really great job of picking a hotel. And we even left her there. She was there early, and we even left her there because she was heading to another hotel to do a, I guess, 3-day fam trip to see if that hotel would be something that we would like to stay at. And I know you guys have been to several hotels that we've done these trips. And one thing I liked about this one, it was a tower. For one thing, it was a tower, and Rick and I were on the 25th floor. By his pictures, you could pretty much see that we were high up, and so we could see both. It was almost like a peninsula, and we could see both. I don't know if it was lake, river, whatever, but we could see both of it, and I didn't bother to get the information as to what that water is versus what that water is. I just know that that water on the right side was bluer than the water on the left side, but on the water on the left side, the horizon went on both sides forever and forever. So, but it was really beautiful. And another thing, when we had our convention, when we had the actual meeting on Thursday, another thing about the hotel I liked is everything was right there. You didn't have to walk a mile. Some of you guys might have remembered the Grand Palladium that we stayed in one year, where they had the lake, I guess, or the lagoon that actually went around to the convention area, and then you would have to get in it or walk to the restaurants, or you could walk to the hotel rooms. But everything was really spread out. Now, it was a beautiful property, and it was great for family. And this one we stayed in this time was all inclusive, adults only. And so that made, it was fun. But everything was great. Everything was right there. You just walk to another elevator, push the floor, go here. This floor had a rooftop pool. And then, of course, you would go up to the main rooftop pool, which was an infinity pool. And that one you had to upgrade. So Rick and I upgraded for the experience, of course. And they had their own little private restaurant. So for breakfast, we're overlooking all this water. The scenery was just gorgeous. It was gorgeous. And the wait staff, I really love how they are trained. You know they know their job, because the next day that you walk in there, they pretty much have you what you had the first night. I mean, the first morning down. If you want coffee, orange juice, they just have it down. And so when you stay there 3 or 4 days, going up each morning, having, you know exactly what you want, and they bring it to you, as opposed to the buffet that they have there too. And then they had a nice little private lounge that had food all day long, and it was really, really nice. So, and I know you guys want to know pretty much what we learned. And the meeting was really for everyone to get to know each other. And for the people in all these different countries, Rick will go more into that, that we're real and it works. So all the people with director title, they were able to go up, say what happened in the business and how they made it where they are. And it was just pretty much to let the people that were coming in from, I don't remember these countries. What countries was this, Rick? That they were coming in from, to let them know that this business is real and it does work. And so we had this one couple that was in YTB way back when, and they did well. So when it was time, when Delby, that's Chris's partner. I wouldn't call him a partner as far as ownership in the company, but he's doing a lot of traveling with Chris and really getting this out there. So, Delby, and he was able to speak. So it was really funny because Americans, you guys know you talk fast. You talk fast, that's all there is to it. And Delby was trying to translate. So when some of those directors got up there and started sharing their story, they didn't know to slow down or to wait or say a couple of sentences and wait for him to repeat it. So it was a lot of laughs, because everybody was just talking. And he's like, wait a minute. And then we had, I don't remember who it was, but she said a few words, and then Delby translated it in Spanish. And she said, I didn't say all those syllables, but it was funny because some words in Spanish have more syllables than English language. But if you don't know a little bit about that, you don't know that, how they put the O or the A behind, if it's a female or a male, or the la and the L, if it's a male or female. So there's a lot that was being translated, and it was funny. And then, of course, we had one guy who was bilingual, and he was able to translate for himself. And so he went over to Delby, said, you can rest your voice now, I'll translate. So he would speak in Spanish, and then he would speak in English, and go on and on and on. And so it was a lot of fun. We got to hang out with them, of course, at the pool party. And it was funny because some of them no Spanish at all. It's just like us in the U.S., no Spanish at all. But I was able to say, mi familia, so every time I saw that was my thing, my mi familia, because we went out to dinner and they were at the dinner and blah, blah, blah. And then Rick, I don't know if you want to share this, but back in the day, Rick was able to try on, at the time, Charles Nicholson and Rick Ricketts' ring, because they had already earned the ring and we were wanting to earn the ring. And so we tried on the ring, we took pictures with the rings. And so Rick was able to do that for this other couple. So they saw his ring and they got to try on his ring and they took pictures with his ring. And I can remember when we first started out of the business, trying on those rings and knowing that we could actually earn the ring meant so much. So I could imagine for that couple from Venezuela, that meant a lot for them to know that we're going to earn this ring, we're going to get this ring. And so it was really a lot of just getting to know each other, exchanging numbers, taking photos, just having a great time with each other, because we here in the U.S., we've seen the success up close and personal. They have not. And so it was something to let them know that it's possible, because we have opened up all these areas for you all now, and you can do it too. And just to receive the $1,000 bonus and all the different bonuses that we earn here in Surge, that's like life-changing for a lot of them. So it's going to be fun to see how this explodes. The opportunity for them is just great. And we have the opportunity too, but it's different when you live in a country where you cannot work a job and think you're going to move up on the ladder, or however you want to say. Whereas they would Surge, they can actually bonus. They can actually change their family's financial future to where ours is now, where we might say, oh, this is not much, but to them, the way we live and our lifestyle here in the U.S. is, oh my goodness, it's great. And so it was really good to kind of talk and share. Did somebody want to say something?
Hello.
Hey, Brenda.
Go right ahead.
I just want to say hi to everybody.
Hi, Ron. But I think there was somebody else who had a question. I thought I heard two voices. No.
Well, yeah, I was trying to come in, but
Okay. Go ahead. Go
Chantel,
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that Delvey, when we met him down in uh, Northern California in the Bay Area, ran that down to us that the people in South America and south of the border, a lot of them earn $300 a month.
Yeah.
And but the price is still $500 to come into this business, and they come up with that money. It's a totally different mentality, and I always say it's taking the freedom and the opportunities of being American, taking it for granted, and that's what a lot of what's happening right now. But Delvey's actual title is International Vice President, and
Okay. Okay.
so you got to meet him. He's a very funny guy, especially when he's put with Chris Coakley. But
Yes.
he stressed
So when I
how
when I so when I said there was a lot of laughs because him going back and forth, you know what I mean then.
yes. Uh,
Yes. Yes.
but we are in good hands, and we are not in that group that takes the opportunity for granted. So
Yes.
back to you, and go ahead, Ron. I didn't mean to step on you.
No, you weren't stepping on
Well,
me. We're both excited about just being able to say hi. This platform, you know, again, just what you're talking about, appreciating what we have. And I think the being able to be able to us meet like this and by people, members of the team that come on board and take the time and make this a priority, because when you share things with us, whether it's Rick or Brenda or you and Chantel, or Darlene, it's anybody that is sharing different things that you're experiencing, or you're keeping us informed and on top of what's going on. These are advantages. People, we ran into a couple that in Canada. We were out to go to a Swiss chalet for chicken dinner on church after church one Sunday, and this couple we met next to us, they actually are travel agents and they aren't affiliated with anybody, and they don't have any support. And they put bus tours together because that's all they thought they could be in a travel agency. So now we're getting back together after Thanksgiving. We have an appointment to get to go up and get together with them. It's so amazing that what we learn that we can then pass on to other people and realize, even if they were in the business and today out in the outside world, most people don't have anything. And we are so privileged, and it's such a blessing.
Yes, it really is. And when you realize how much we have, and like, Delby was sharing, they don't have a lot. And so the opportunity alone is hope for them. It allows them to hope that they can have a better life now for their families now. We're up here saying, oh, we're going to build a better financial future for our family and our children. They're trying to do that for their family now. So it puts another sense of urgency, just a sense of we have to do this now. Where here in the U.S., we whine and cry about whatever, but we still have it pretty good. And for them to look at us, and it's like, man, you guys got this, you have this. And even for us to be there at the hotel, because I think Rick shared with you guys earlier, this goes to show you the heart of Chris Coakley and how he is a giver. He invited the directors and oh my goodness, I forgot so fast. Founding directors, right? Founding directors. And he said, if you guys can get here, your room's taken care of. And when I tell you, we were you've seen the pictures on Facebook. We were in a really nice suite that we were able to enjoy. And I really like these resorts where it has 24-hour room service. And I like how they have those little cubby holes where you could put your plates in it, and then someone comes and takes it away. And you don't even hear them. You don't even know what it's done. and you don't have to have your plate sitting around in your room or right in front of your door. I think that I really like that concept. But it was a lot of fun. We got to reconnect and laugh and talk with people that we hadn't seen in a few years. And because we had, it was like, okay, we're going to do this, we got to do this. But now it made you feel like, oh, okay, we can do this. We always have been able to do this. But now seeing it through somebody else's eyes, because like I said, we're pretty spoiled. We're pretty content, and to see it out of somebody else's eyes, like, you guys don't understand how this literally can change our lives now. We don't have to have money saved away in the bank for generations. This is going to change our lives now. And so, of course, Vaughn was there. And so we got to hang out with him and laugh and talk. And he's still crazy as all get out. But we haven't even seen Vaughn in a few years. So it was really nice to actually physically be around people, laugh and talk. And there was a lot of folks that could not make it. That was, okay, plane tickets. And we were talking the holidays. So everything skyrocketed for Memorial Day. And I don't know who thinks travel does not. Look, every plane we got on, it was packed. Every time we walked through the airport, every gate was packed. If there was a plane leaving, the gate was packed. So don't let anyone tell you that, oh, no one's traveling. No, you're not traveling, but the world is traveling. The world is traveling. So I'm going to let Rick's going to share. And if anybody has any questions for us, does anybody have any questions?
Is the water still warm?
The water is still warm. The water is still blue. The people are so lovely and friendly. And not just the ones that work at the hotel. We left the hotel and we got to see some of the natives, and they were just enjoying the water. It was Sunday, and they were out enjoying the water because a lot of them were off.
Public beach.
It was a public beach. So a lot of people were off, and everybody was just enjoying life. Everybody was just enjoying life. And because, see, every minute, every hour, you cannot rewind life. You figure when that hour passed, that hour is past. There is no redo on life. There is no, I'm going to be 19 in a couple of days. No, you passed 19. So you need to keep moving and enjoying every moment, every breath that you have to enjoy it. And so, that's what gives you, I don't know, it just gave you a real good sense of how blessed we are here in the U.S. and how we need to make sure we take advantage of it and share it with everyone, because we have no idea who needs what we have. And if folks start getting laid off and all this other craziness, then we need to make sure we show them that this is the opportunity to have your own business and change your family's financial future. And so we're going to start doing some presentations. Rick, did you want to talk about tonight with Delby? Or I don't know, when did you want to chime in?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what Delby is doing. I believe he's doing a presentation in Spanish. And
it's in Spanish.
I have one of the ladies that I'm working with who lives in Atlanta from Brazil. And he invited her to the presentation. And Mariano, I was going to invite you as well. And I'm going to send you the Zoom link. Mariano, by the way, is our international Team Get representative, VP King.
El Señor.
CEO of his own business. And Mariano was available to speak to some of the folks. And Mariano, what was your impression in speaking to? I had him talk to a couple of folks who was there, and he gave them a good impression of Surge 365. Mariano, would you share just a little bit of that discussion and your impressions?
Yeah, sure, man. And thanks for the opportunity. I think before I share with him what said and how he was representing himself, blessed we are in this country. Those of us that have worn the uniform
Yes,
have
yes,
spent
yes.
time in other countries
Yeah.
understand how blessed and how privileged we really are to live in a country like this.
That's the truth.
So, if I was king, what I would make everybody in this country do, assuming they were able to, between the ages of 18 and 25, spend 2 years in another country, and I'd come back but spend 2 years in another country to get an appreciation for what I have here. Because, as bad as the worst person, the poorest person in this country is wealthier than most people around the world. And we've lost sight of that.
True.
We're just out of, we're taking it on a kind of different level. Most people that are talking about living in the country because of the results of the election and stuff like that, the thing I can say to them is, go ahead. If you think you can find a better place to be, then go ahead. And by the way, nobody's keeping you here. The point
I'll
is
buy
that
the ticket.
when you listen to guy, can't remember his name. When he was talking about the opportunity, he was so excited about what it could do for him and his family, and like you guys are talking about, for generations to come. And just amazing feat for our company to be able to offer other people in the world a kind of an opportunity for them to change their lives drastically. We can, $500 to us is still a pretty good chunk of change. Like you guys are saying, for them, a life changer. And once you understand that different mindset, it keep kind of, it lets you keep things in perspective. Share a little bit about in Saudi Arabia. One of the things that take for granted here is water pressure. All of us on the faucet and there's water pressure that not as fast as we want or whatever. That way in every other country. Paper, for example, we have shortages and things like that. Well, there's some people in the world that don't even know what that is. But again, we need to make sure that we count our blessings for sure. Also understand that you are able to bless a lot of other people in the world. That's what we're all about. So that's all. That's how it. Friend, got.
You're absolutely
Yeah,
right. Go ahead.
absolutely correct, Mariano. And it even goes beyond that. If they were to spend 1 week, even the judges that sentence people, they used to give them options. Send them to a third world country for 1 week and see how they think about it. Put them on these jetliners, JetBlue, Spirit Airlines that are trying to land in Haiti and being shot at by the gangs. I mean, it's a totally different perspective once you venture outside of your blessing, really. And it's just a totally different world, and the way people look at you, they try to get at you. We've been in places where they're holding them back. I mean, we're not, celebrities, but you are, because if they know you by American. They don't care what color you are. They know you by American. As far as they're concerned, they're rich, and we've been to the places where they're holding these people back. They have to keep you separated. We do not take that for granted, and and no one should. Back to you, Rick.
Anyone else?
Yes. Greetings, leaders, because you are the champions of life today. You are the champions of hope. And from day one, when we met Coach Tomer, our visionary leader, founder, and his family, it was game on, because it was such an honor to hear the vision, to come into agreement with the vision and to realize that this is a great opportunity that has landed in not only in my hand, but in my family, in my generations. This is an urgent day that we're in. I hope my prayer today is that the leaders here, blinders off all the eyes, off the ears, wide awake to the opportunity in our hands, that somebody is waiting on you, waiting on us to show up. And every day, find a way to meet a new person, whether it's by social media. People are just gathering around us. I don't know where they're coming from. I'm going to the coffee place the other day, and I see this lady looking at me. She finally comes up and approaches me. And so we sat down for a few minutes, and she just went download. When I tell you the gift that was in this woman who was up in here like, you know what? I was sent back here. I was here years ago. I'm coming back here because I was sent here. Something is here that I'm supposed to receive. And I didn't say a word. I'm just smiling. And I said, it's just like that. If we will open up ourselves to that, I'm the person. I am the person carrying the hope. No matter what it looks like, because we are so blessed beyond measure. We do take a lot for granted. The air we breathe, the water we drink. We can get up and go in here and take a clean shower. We don't have to go out in the woods and pick up these carts that people are traveling across the world carrying water on their head. I've seen family members in these countries. I've looked at those videos. We met these people. One of them is on our team, Carmelita, a veteran, bad to the bone, over here in the Philippines, and you have no idea what an awesome opportunity we have in our hands. Give it away. Give it away often. Keep on giving and know that you are the person. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for not giving up on your own self, on your own dreams for such a time as this today. To all the veterans, thank you. We're at war, people. Real-time war. We're in it every day. And that blessing is called freedom. So we're in a fight for financial freedom and gain for our generations, our children's children's children's, our communities. But we carry the torch. Back to you, Rick and Brenda. Thank you.
Powerful. Powerful. Yes. It's interesting in going down to the international convention and basically launch of Latin America, and the people that were there and from the various countries. And what's interesting is how they view us. I think for the first time, I realized the position that we have. You know, not just myself, if any one of us on the phone here was there, the position that you would have and how others would view you as Americans in Surge 365, as successful. The whole purpose of the trip was for them to see and believe, to see someone in Surge 365, to hear someone, to touch, to feel, you know, and to play and to have fun, you know, with someone in Surge 365 who could tell them about the lifestyle, who could instill in them an inspiration of belief that it's real and that the money is real, that the company is real, that the products are real, that the career opportunity is real. And I'd never actually been in that position. And I mean, it was interesting being in that position because it pushed me to a whole nother level of understanding and belief and responsibility, you know, to reach out, you know, to other people and to really understand what we have from a whole different perspective. You know, a lot of times we take it for granted. You know, people say no, you know. In Latin America, they understand, network marketing and multi-level marketing as not something that is bad, but is bringing people together to organize together to do business. And it made me actually sit and think at our company in a whole different light. First of all, the fact that we were all invited, all the directors and founders were invited by the company to come down, and that the company would take care of everything except for the flight and transfer. And so it even put the company in a whole different light. But in being that in that position, I started looking and thinking about Surge. And Ron and I, we was talking about this yesterday. And let's spend a little bit of time talking about this. That you're not in Surge. Ron, why are they not in Surge? Why are we not in Surge?
Well, first of all, none of us are, our last name is not Comer. See, Serge and now or Coakley, now that he owns the company, we have Surge as the most magnificent tool. I like to use the analogy. My mom, I used to watch my mom. I love sliced tomatoes with a little mayo, or she used to chop up tomatoes and put some Italian dressing and throw some mozzarella fresh cheese in. We'd have a salad, tomato salad. Well, she never used a butter knife to get those slices made for the tomato. She got a Ginsu knife that was, and I sliced it in a second. You see the commercials on TV. It was super. It's just the most effective way of cutting something like a tomato. Well, Surge is like that Ginsu knife in the world of economics and opportunity. It gets the job done. And it does it just with the magic. And that's what we bring to the table for people. Do you know the old, when some of us, we went through the age when the model, the formula was get a good education, get a good job, work hard, work loyal, stay there for 40 years, and when you're done, everything will be okay. Well, and I know today that's a lie. There were people, our parents maybe made it and came out okay, and they got, they had property, and then they were able to retire and live off investments. That's okay. That's okay. But for most people, that doesn't even work. And now it really doesn't work. You can walk into a job tomorrow that you had yesterday, and suddenly AI can take your spot. You used to plug in information from one room, or one branch to another for the company. They don't need you anymore, so you're gone. Well, what if your family's expecting you to completely provide for their week-to-week living? You just lost it. We are such an incredible, powerful tool that we can put in ownership. Can I tell the story of coming to America, Rick?
Sure.
Okay. Back in the way 1400s, 1500s, there, the world was primarily the modern world of Europe was just the Renaissance was going on, and there were people that somehow they found out about the new world, and there were explorers that were getting ships, and people would go on them and get there. Well, there were people that gave up everything they owned. Of course, they didn't own anything. They were serfs. They had no property. They had nothing. So they could live and die, and that's it. Or they could get on a boat with a prayer. Many times they took their Bible, but they got on a prayer, and they didn't know where they were going. They didn't know how long it was going to take. But somehow, when they did get to the new world, the one thing they did is they got on their knees. And they thanked God for getting there safely. And it wasn't nice. It was not it wasn't a cruise like we take today. But they got to America, and we got there. The first thing they thought of was, well, let's put all our efforts together, and then we'll divide up what's going to be, and that was going to be the way they thought they'd start out. Well, guess what? That colony failed. They died. When they found out that if you let people work and earn because they owned what they did, they flourished. They could learn and prosper and trade, and that created free enterprise. Well, today, people are still coming, but when they got here, by the way, none of them came on those ships to come to America to get a W-2, paid for vacation, free insurance, and retirement. They didn't come here for this. They came for freedom. And today we are, I had a guy on a call earlier today tell me how he noticed around his town, people are smiling and they're happy and joyful because they're realizing today we are freer than we were 4 days ago. We are freer because there are people that are going to help open the doors for more people to be free in America. We just have to be responsible. Stewardship is a word I use a lot. And I help people. That's what we talk about at church. I had my senior pastor of our church at our house yesterday. Him and his wife, not only are we setting up the church to do funding by travel, that's foregone. We're doing that. We got the whole process is started. Now we're just trying to figure out because him and his wife are starting, they're getting started in the business too. Dave and Trish, you'll see them on I'll have them on the leadership when they get to that point. So that happened yesterday. We have opportunity here. A few months ago, I was in a bank, and it was last February, really, when it was. I was in a bank, and I had to come home to do the show to be here, and was there, and I had to make a deposit. And the woman I met, we get talking, and she had her kids there, and a couple of them I call Batman and Robin. They're the little twins, and they're wild. But we got chatting, and she made them get out of the chair to let me sit down. She said, "This man needs a chair," so we got talking. In the conversation, she said, she revealed she didn't have the money for her rent. She was going to be thrown in the street. She lives in a month-to-month rent apartment. Well, guess what? 30 days later, she had a check, and I have a copy of it right here. She did the work. We shut it up. Rick helped us, guide us, and helped her get started. She earned $500 the first 30 days she was in the business. And now she's gone through some other things, but now she's ready to get launched again. She just renewed and re-upped her business. She's got some new people she's bringing on board. We can put food on people's table with what we have in our hands, folks. That's how important what it is we have. And I just want to share that story.
Amen. Amen. And so one of the things that I have been really, really, really just kind of just thinking about, and this is, I know for me, for Brenda, this has been kind of a reset and a restart. And I know Glenn and Chantel feel the same way, having gone to the road show that Delby and Chris put on down in California. But it's a reset and a restart to our business. And I mean, it's so important for the leaders, to have that mentality, because there's people out there that are going to be the droves. They're going to be looking for us, and we have to make that shift. This trip alone for me helped me make that shift. Even though already a leader, but it helped me to see the global need, from a global perspective through the eyes of people that actually came to the convention, and the hope. We are the company of hope, and how they were hopeful. Again, a lot of times we take it for granted, but they had hope. They were laughing. They were talking. They said, "I know people that can use this." When I mentioned the $1,000 bonus, we take a lot of times for granted. I know those who have received the $1,000 bonuses, the $1,000 bonus, but that is absolutely life changing. I don't know if it was Mariano, but someone was saying where, the income being $300 a week, whatever the case may be, to pay, or a month to pay $500, but to get $1,000 bonus, bonus. And so when you think about our compensation plan and a person coming in and bringing in 5 people that pay the $499 and hopefully the $520 to get the marketing as well, the SBA as well as the travel. But 5 people coming in, they earn a team builder leadership bonus of $500, where they recouped their investment. They're 3 and free, meaning no monthly fee. So now their overhead is only $20 a month. Right? So you can imagine them understanding that. And of course, being in the team builder group, every 7 sales, whether they make it personally or someone on their team makes it through Infinity, is $1,000 bonus. One of the shifts that I've made in my whole approach and thinking after reading, and you guys have seen some of my posts on our message board, about Don Fela and how he says it's so important in network marketing, first of all, to understand that network marketing is a method to move product. It's just a method to move product. Multi-level is a method to move product, and an accounting system that will track at multiple levels, multiple generations, who does the work so that they get paid. And just like retail sales is a way to move product, just like direct sales, the Tupperware and the Avon is a way to move product. Network marketing is the most efficient way to move product. And what I was asking Ron earlier when I asked him about how you can't get into Surge. Surge is kind of like a broker, a travel broker in between the travel industry and vendors to say, okay, I'm gonna hire independent contractors, independent travel distributors to help and connect them to the industry to move the travel services of the industry to consumers. And seeing that's what we're doing. We can't get into Surge. We basically are hired, working for Surge as independent contractors to build teams is the most efficient way to build teams that can move travel services. The reason Surge 365 is the best in class in the travel industry is because they have made it available for us to move more services. We can move airline tickets, we can move hotel and accommodation bookings, we can move vacation packages, we can move travel product, we can move car rentals, we can move cruises, we can move tours and activities, we can move travel insurance, we can move visa and passport services. That's our job, is to move travel product, on behalf of our connection and interaction with Surge 365, which opens up the industry to us to be able to have that kind of access. Other companies are out there, but they're only just travel agents. And so when you look at Surge and the access to travel services that Surge provides, we have online booking, right? So we can move that service. Expedia is a broker just like us. We're booting them out the way. Expedia made $98 billion, even online booking. At the end of 2024, it's going to hit 2025, $1 trillion online booking. We have direct access, but we are that broker to the vendors who have a product online that needs to connect to consumers, and we here now have access through the Vortex.
Hey,
We
Rick.
are that in between for the membership, wholesale travel. See, because we're in the business, we have access to wholesale travel where we have the choice to sell it wholesale or retail. The travel agency, we have the travel agency, and so we're able to move travel services as a travel agent. And so I started thinking about all of this. I'm like, wow, we really are in the business as independent contractors to move travel services. And of course, our broker is Surge 365. We're not in it. We're working for them as independent contractors.
Hey,
But
Rick.
they open up the whole industry to us. Go right ahead. Yes, go right ahead.
No, Rick. You're hitting it on the head, and I just wanted to expand that and that picture. And while we're on recording, I just realized when I looked it up the travel industry is set to make by itself, the travel industry by itself is set to make $11.1 trillion by the end of 2025. $11.1 trillion. Then through TV, the news stations and stuff, heard that the national debt deficit is 2.1 trillion. Okay, that's 2.1. The student debt is 1.2 trillion. So what we have in our hands is a Search 365, a technology company that has given its contracted travel agents and like you said, the movers and distributors technology to make that happen.
That's
and I'm
good.
sitting here looking, and I'm like, when this expands to a national level, and you have businesses, you have individuals, families, communities backing this company, backing this technology, we have the power as a collective country. I want everybody to hear this. This is phenomenal. We have the power in our hands to distribute technology that will erase the national deficit and that will erase tuition debt. We could have, and we will have, Lord willing, a debt-free country. What would this nation look like as a debt-free country? Passively paid for. Nothing extra, no extra taxes, nothing extra. The whole motivation of Search 365 is to give you a technology, to give you access to that industry. Not only that, to put more money in your hands, because we're a savings program too. We're a lifestyle savings program which has saved its members over $100 million. Really? Let me let that sink in for everybody who's listening. We have saved our members over $100 million.
Isn't that amazing?
Still ticking, Rick.
That's
and we're
crazy.
A 9-year-old company. Rick, we're a 9-year-old company. Are you kidding me?
That's crazy. And so
if you go on, it's amazing. If you go on the Better Business Bureau page, Search 365 as a non-accredited agency or whatever it is, as far as travel, Search 365 by itself has a better Business Bureau grade than Expedia. And we only been in business for 9 years.
That's amazing.
9 years, Rick. Oh my goodness.
So here's where I've come back to. And I want everybody, the leaders, to understand this and to get it. Not to make it a big deal, but to understand this and to get it. To build a team and an organization to move product, not just move product. I want everybody on here to earn a fortune by building an organization that individually can move a little product. Building an organization that moves the product is the shift in the focus. Now, if you're on the Zoom presentation, what you're looking at is the GoTeamGet.com website, GoTeamGet.com. And it's the new SBA tab. So when new SBAs come in, I want them to listen or read to this presentation. It's the audio of 4 chapters of Don Villa's book that talks about building a large, successful organization. The first, like a preview, overview, introduction, it talks about multi-level, and it explains multi-level as a way product is moved, just like retail sales, just like direct sales. It shows and distinguishes why multi-level is not a pyramid, because it's the inverted triangle where you're at the bottom and there's room at the top. A pyramid is a pyramid where you're at the top and everybody else is under you. This is inverted triangle, but it does a fantastic job that talks about recruiting. You're not recruiting, you're sponsoring. There's a whole nother level of responsibility that comes with sponsoring a person. You know, recruiters, that's why salespeople don't work. They're just recruiting. And people are falling off as fast as they're coming in. But when you're sponsoring someone, you're making a commitment to help them to grow and to build them 3 levels deep. You know, so when you read this and listen to it, it's going to, I tell you, change your whole perspective. You're not selling a product, you're sharing. And I mean, it was mind changing, blowing for me to listen to the audio. And I actually bought the book also that talks about, you know, how to build a large, successful network marketing organization. I want my leaders, and you know who you are, you know, to take a look and to listen. Of course, the leaders that don't see themselves as leaders won't, right? And but I want my leaders, and that's everybody on this call, to understand this. It talks about the power of multiplication and building a team and identifying the power 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, 3 times 3 times 3, 4 times 4 times 4. And in the example in the book, it stops at 5, which is our magic number in Surge 365, because that's the bonus. And of course, you're 3 and free, but not going any or working with more than 5 people. So, do you know 5 people who are looking, who may be searching for a way to make some extra money? $1,000, $500, $1,000, $1,500, you know, without having to go back to work as travel distributors, you know, who are not only using the product, but sharing the opportunity. And so it says, okay, as a sponsor, I'm helping them to go 5 times 5 levels deep, and helping each one of those 5. You can't work with more than 5. So we're not like saying sponsor the whole neighborhood, the whole world, just 5. But I guarantee you, when you listen to the audio and you read the book, it gives you a plan going forward. One of the things that I believe has been kind of missing is, what do I do when I bring a person in? How do I teach them how to sponsor, you know, how to go deep, you know? And so a lot of the folks that have been coming in are pretty much one level, you know, and it kind of stops right there. But imagine, and you can listen to this presentation, you can read it, the audio, you can read the actual presentation, and it's going to show you how to get started, how to use the product, how to get in gear to start building an organization, beginning with 5. This gentleman, Don Fela, started with 4, and he's been in network marketing since the 60s, late 60s. And still has over 350,000 distributors. And their product is product. And so when you think about what we have and our product is travel, you've got the airlines, you've got the hotel industry, you've got the vacation club industry, you've got the car rental industry, you've got the cruise industry. We don't have any products. Surge 365 has provided us access to the product, to the wholesale product, to the retail product, access to the travel training. This is powerful, folks. When you begin to understand the business from this perspective, and you realize, if I'm going to build a huge team, I'm not selling anything, I'm sponsoring people. And I'm only looking for 5 to work with at a time. 5 interested people interested in doing business. And so if you go to the website, goteamget.com, and take a look at the new SBA tab and download the hard copy PDF, or listen to the audio, and then scroll down. First of all, you're going to see Glenn and Chantel and their bonuses. Lynn and Chantel, and they $500 bonus. And then, but as a new person coming in, welcome to the new SBAs, right? Hey, this is our time to create wealth. Mariano, I'm going to be using you. I've got this gentleman that in riding back with Amstar, he was our driver, and he just started talking. And of course, we usually don't, talk business, so to speak, but he pulled it out of us. I'm Brenda. And he was saying how I was in the United States and then I was working and I had to fly in Atlanta and I had to fly back to Mexico to take care of my mother who was, very ill. And he's working two jobs and he's got an apartment in Cancun, but he lives in another city so that he can work. And he's got two jobs going. And he said, I got to do something. And so we shared with him Surge 365. His name's Angel. He says, you've met a real live angel, Rick. And we shared with him. And you should have seen the shift, the change. Mariano, I'm going to have you call him and I'm going to let you sponsor him. I'll give you his number. But the shift and the change in his conversation and the hope, people are hopeless. They're hopeless. Where do you get hope? And then along comes a company like Surge that opens up an entire industry. Ed mentioned $11.1 trillion industry with no upper limit. And so we're looking at pathways to create, but it's going to require a visionary mindset. It's going to require taking ownership, setting goals, understanding we can create multiple streams of income based on whatever your niche you want it to be, to invest in yourself, to come here, even on this website, and to look at the information on this website. I broke out each product, each travel service, but to be willing to take that risk, to adapt to change, to commit to long-term success, and know that Latin America is exploding with hope and that there's an opportunity. America is exploding with hope and opportunity. But to come to the new SBA tab and you can send people, what do I need to do when I first come into business? Okay, take a look, first of all, and understand what network marketing is if you have any issues whatsoever. But come here and go into the back office and watch the initial SBA training video. And this walks a person through it. you know Understand that you have your welcome emails that tell you your link for your vortex, that tell you your link for your marketing, your surge site. If you don't know what those are, it'll go into your back office. There's a video that you can watch that'll walk you through the back office. Then the game plan, download the PDF. If you got a new person coming in, download the PDF game plan and walk through this with them. And know that when you're creating those contacts, know that you may go through 10 people to find 5 serious people who are serious about business, knowing that you can't work with more than 5. And a lot of people are afraid because they think they have to sponsor the world. We're just talking about 5 or less, right? And then helping them go deep with the same process and the same process. And I have this here so we can duplicate the same process, that a person can come here and duplicate the same process. And of course, we're going to give them the human touch as well, but download this, go through it. There's a video that talks about your back office, maybe a little outdated, but it gives you a good idea of what's back there. But download that. And then of course we've got here where you can get off to a fast start with friends, families, neighbors, and not to vomit on them with everything, but to give them the information that they need step by step. Carol, I got started in a new exciting business and you might be able to help me. Would you happen to know anyone that would be interested in earning some extra income? 500, 1,000, 1,500 a month, are interested in getting into a second business. And so you're just sharing, and those who make it through, then we have a presentation for them. Brenda and I are going to be doing presentations for Black Wall Street starting on the 1st of December or whatever that Thursday is, the gift that keeps on giving. and we're going to start doing presentations for them. But come back here. We have, Charles Nicholson does his, and thank you, Glenn, for posting Charles Nicholson's presentation. We have an on-demand that you can listen, you can go to surgepro365.com and watch the webinar. We actually have the YouTube presentation here. I'm going to put the Spanish one up as well. And of course, we've got our non-disclosure statement, income disclosure statement. We've got information for Charles's presentation that he does. Download that Touch 365. We can send out, different videos and information. It's a great custom CRM system where you can customer management system. Download that. And we've got some videos. We've got the actual presentation video, 9 minutes. We've got the Spanish video, 10 minutes. We've got the travel products. In fact, I'm going to end on the travel products here. We're going to actually show that. Discover what the wealthy know. We've got this peak interest. If you've got someone that you want to just pique their interest, you can send this out. And you can send it out as a YouTube video. Just send it out to them. And of course, we've got Chris Coakley. Who are you following? And what I want to do is I want to end on my little portion here. First of all, I'm going to open up for any questions. Any questions from anyone?
Hey, Rick.
Yes.
It's just like you said with the sharing and do not try to sell. The source that you sent us to talks about don't try to talk. Don't just be quiet. Let the tools do the work. Let your upline do the work. Do not try to sell or convince. Like you said, allow them to qualify or disqualify themselves. You can listen to where they're coming from. They're going to see it or not. And the sooner you get that, and the sooner they say it, the sooner you can get on to the next qualified of your 5. This is what you're dealing with out here. The system, shall we say, people have bought into the system. The free enterprise here in this country, in the world, they haven't been lied to. They just bought into it. You go out there, you will see every kind of negative comment, and they have fed this to program people against MLM because they know that's how we get through and not become subservient to that system.
Man,
so
true.
These people are programmed. So what we do, some people can be deprogrammed so we can reprogram them. But it starts with them. They have to see it, and then we can move from there right into where you are, Rick. Back to you.
And that's the truth. That's absolute truth. And we're not chasing anybody. I was telling this lady that that's going to be on the presentation tonight, and she used to be tour director in Brazil and all kinds of different things, and so they're coming to us. So you're not chasing anyone. And I've been giving this a lot of thought because we all have our families. I'm really impressed, Glenn and Chantel, with your families and how your families have embraced Surge 365 more so than many other families. And it probably is more of a function of you guys, than anything
more
else.
so than our family.
Rick.
But I really haven't approached my family like that as much. You guys have a different relationship though with your families. Go ahead.
You know why? We are you're also very influential, but think about, we've been speaking this every time we get on a call, every time we get an opportunity. When we came in this company, remember, we got on a plane because the people who tug at our heart, who meant the most, we got on a plane, went back to the East Coast to share this opportunity with our families. Right after we touched our friends here that mean a lot to us, we went to our family because this young guy was a young boy dreaming about a business that the family would be in partnership together. That was Glenn Aiden, the girl who was dreaming and said she would travel all across the world, and who her family meant the world to her, second oldest in this family, but was always the one. with that vision that our family will break through together. To this day, we meant that thing, and we got on that plane and went home, and I would never forget that feeling. I can feel it right now, of having this freedom to put in the hands, watching Glenn. We went to Maryland. Our sister Charmaine, who's with the Pentagon, who is one of the most dynamitic people you will ever meet in your life. Huge breakthroughs are happening in our family because we are determined. We're determined. And this lady went in her room, gave us a projector, which was the last item on our vision at the time. We had hit all the other boxes in our vision. She comes out with this. I'm telling you, things like this. And so from leaving her, she partners. From leaving her, when we go to Ohio, he has the projector in his bag, shows it to the family. Not onesie twosies. We're sitting in rooms with the people, and the family says yes. We didn't drag anybody. They saw this thing with their own being, and they said, yes, we're going to do this. We had family members running Glenn down at some of the most roughest times of our life. We're up here at home. They're running Glenn down. Said, I don't know what you're doing, but whatever you're doing, I'm getting in that. Are you hearing me? That was always our heart, still is to this day. And it will go down into our children's children, because this tool in our hands, it's that powerful. And I'm excited because I know this is one of the tools he gave us. It has always worked from the beginning. It has worked, and it is still working. Checks are still coming in. But here's the deal. The renewing of the mind is real. The leaders in this right now, you got to make a decision. You know what? I am going to be the one in my family because I'm choosing it. And I believe that if I keep renewing my mind, put it on the vision board, hey, it may not have started yesterday, but you know what? Today, I'm going to say the holidays are coming, and I want somebody in my family to run with me. How awesome is that? To have your family running with you, that is, man, I'm telling you, a gift. It's a gift. When I look and I've talked to some of my aunts and uncles, and all I said, this is what I said to them. I said, just seeing your name in my back office encourages me. And they signed up. Are you hearing me?
It's true.
Whether it's $19.95 or the $500, that's all I said. And today, some of them have stepped into heaven. But when I go on that list,
You know what? It's now. That was then. That was 2007. Up till now. But this day right here is bigger than anything else because we're going above and beyond who we reach to, who we share this with. The gloves are off. It doesn't matter how big, how small. We're up here. We're Boeing, the aircraft builders. They started up here in Seattle. We watched how they downsized. That same thing I was talking about, people buying into the system. We were downsized. That's part of our story with Intel. And when the people demanded a pay raise, the company tap danced while they developed a strategy to get rid of you. That's what they do. So Boeing was on strike. The machinists, they were out for X amount of weeks. They come back in and Boeing knowing that, and then the organizers of the strike also knowing that somebody's going to get a pink slip when you come back because that's how they do it. And they come back, they're all happy. The first thing they're going to do is chop 10,000 jobs.
Wow.
But the rest of them just don't know that they've already been replaced. They just don't know it yet. The slips are coming. And that's across the board.
Wow.
Ron mentioned AI before. It is real. And we saw it. We went to San Francisco. The autonomous vehicles are everywhere. It's not coming.
Wow.
It's here. It's here. So as my dad used to say, it
Autonomous
would
vehicles.
behoove you to wake up. We can't force anybody to wake up. We're looking for the ones who are awake.
That's
Back to
right.
you, Rick.
It's true. Amen. Amen. That's the truth. Anybody else? I want to show you something before we close. I know Brenda's getting ready to close us here. And this is why Surge is just like off the charts here. Okay, let me bring this up here. But this is why Surge is off the charts. And this is why there's no company that comes even close to us. And this was even though I knew, but this was like the epiphany, that I came to, is that in the travel industry, it's all about travel services and moving products, travel services. And so travel services, how do travel services get to the consumer? Either through direct sales, online sales, or agents. Or in this case, our case, Surge 365 gives us access as travel agents, as online booking, as the concierge member services, wholesale travel. But look at this. These are the travel services that have to get to a consumer. The airline tickets, how do they get to the consumer? Hotels, accommodation bookings, vacation packages, car rentals. How do they get this travel product, these travel services to consumers? Cruises, tours and activities, travel insurance. How does travel flow to the consumer? See, ladies and gentlemen, this is just business. Visa and passport services, travel concierge and planning services. And here we go. Surge 365, the Vortex, online travel, Craftmanity, the travel agency. We've got the membership, vacation club, and concierge services. This all allows us the access to move this product to the consumer. If we can build, this is what I envision, not just selling a product, but building a team. Let's shift as a team. Let's shift to building an organization that moves this product. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
In building that
Absolutely.
organization, those
Absolutely.
are the $1,000 bonuses. Those are the residual income. Those are the $10,000 bonuses. Those are the $50,000 bonuses. Are the whole challenge that we have. But if we can build an organization that can move this product, and looking at, okay, 5, working with no more than 5 at a time, and then helping them grow deep, 3 levels deep. We haven't done anything until we take a person that's come on board and we help them to get 3 levels deep, 3 levels deep. And then once we help them to get 3 levels deep, now you've got an organization. But if you've got 5 and you're helping 5 people get 3 levels deep, as we multiply that, you've got a major organization. So we are committed and we are here to help you build a tremendous organization that moves the travel product on behalf of the industry, those travel services, I should say, on behalf of the industry as independent contractors of Surge 365, who has opened up the door, the window, to us at whatever level. And so I want to see everybody on. It depends on what you want to do. But this is my new focus in building organizations that can move the travel services. Anybody before we close, or I turn it back over. Brenda, back over to you. Anybody else?
All righty. Rick, what I thought everybody should really take a minute and listen to that. It's only 36 minutes. And when you listen to that, it should give you a totally different frame of mind when it comes to talking to people about network marketing, multi-level marketing. Because I think that was the key for me when I listened to that 36-minute video.
Let me say this, Darlene had mentioned to me also a change in understanding. Darlene, what was that?
I was just going to say that after Brenda finished saying what she was saying, but when I listened to it, it just kind of put a different spin to me, and it made me understand a lot of things that I was really confused about. But it just made me learn that, I mean, it's to teach, not to sell, you know, and it just gave me more ideas on how to approach and things like that. So, but it was very eye-opening. I really appreciated reading that and listening to that. And then you sent me the thing about going to the Go Team. So I really did see it in a different light. Back to you.
Me too. And I've been in the business for how long? Go ahead, Ron.
Yeah,
Rick, I would say
I
that
think
Brenda, by example, have been doing this. What this you're catching back into this magic, the book. What you've done is you've helping us to become intentional with where we are driving and following the Holy Spirit in our lives to the work He wants us to do with people. It becomes more intentional and directed as opposed to being just accepting what's and Lord wants us to be intentional. And we can be intentional. The world wants you to think that you can't be intentional. You're supposed to take what comes at you. No, this puts us back in a driver's seat. We, as everybody I know on this call, we all follow the Lord and we understand that we are in His will. But He wants us, He has things that He has in store for us. He's already got it planned. So all we're doing is just following the plan that He put in place for us.
You're
And now
right.
we're
And
intentional about it.
yes. And one of the things that it did for me is it gave me a deeper understanding of how to build deep, and not wide, but working with 5 people at a time and helping each one as we have sponsored and made a commitment to them to go deeper, to go deep, to go deep.
and,
To
and the
share.
whole thing, and I understand that, Rick, as we get ready to close, the one thing I really like about it, go and listen to it. You have so many people telling you how now they see it differently. If you haven't listened, you're missing out. Don't cheat yourself, because it's going to show you how important it is to build that foundation. See, we
Yeah.
bring people in, but if you're not duplicatable, people start dropping out as fast as you bring them in. So you might be a heavy hitter, but if you're not bringing in heavy hitters, they're going to stay in for a little bit and then they're going to drop out. So what you're doing by listening to this and the whole thing that we're going to start doing is we're going to start showing people how you can be duplicatable. You don't have to come in, make a list of 10 people, give it to your upline so they can show you how to talk to them. You're never going to talk like your upline talks.
Nope.
Because you guys are totally different. But see, this, I really think it gives everybody the opportunity to learn how they can be successful and have a strong foundation. Because when you have a strong foundation, it's never going to break. And so it's going to show you how to just say hi to whoever. And even though they might be totally different than you, because they've learned the foundation, they can stay. And now they can learn how it works for them and how they can work it, as opposed to just give me your list. I'm gonna call them. We're gonna call. No. So anyway, that was my take on it. That it just allows you to see it in a different light.
Amen. It's true.
And you can
So
listen
anybody
to
else?
it more than once, because
Definitely listen to it more than once. Yeah.
definitely, because I'm going to go back and listen again, because there are some things in there that are really, really good that I really appreciated that I could understand. So back to
Me
you.
too.
Yeah.
I read it again. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I'm actually taking notes and studying it because I wanted to get into my spirit. I want it to be just a natural way
Yeah.
of thinking.
All righty. You know how powerful that mind is. The more you listening and learning something new, it's like every time you listen to it, you're going to hear something new. You're going to hear something different. So definitely have a little pad with you. listen to it over and over again till you get the understanding and actually see how it works and why it works. And I think this right here alone is one thing that's going to really help our company and our team get strong, get a good foundation. So it's going to be a stick and stay kind of thing. So you know what I love to say, that we are winners. We are number one in Surge 365. We are the most trusted team in Surge 365. So I want everybody to have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the weather wherever you are. And we'll be talking to you guys soon. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.